Need something?
May I go riding now?
Yep, if you got everything I told you need, and you think you know your stuff when it comes to horses, old Bob's all yours.
Talk to you later.
Just stay out of trouble.
Come on, Bob. I'm ready.
Ready for some questions?
You bet.
Where's a horse's hocks?
Just above its hooves.
Nope.
I think I'll take a break. The Navajo.
Nope.
Ask me something else.
What tribe bred the first Appaloosas?
The Algonquin.
Nope.
Ask me something else.
What tribe bred the first Appaloosas?
The Nez Perce.
Well, you answered all the questions right. And I can tell by the way you sit you ain't gonna go falling off for no good reason. So you're free to ride outside the corral. Just don't go galloping all over the place. Because if you bring old Bob back all hot and sweaty, you can kiss your cowgirl days at Shadow Ranch goodbye.
Okay, Bob. What do you say we do some sightseeing? That trunk looks really old. Something goes here.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, are you Mary Yazzie?
That's me. I didn't hear a car. Did you hike in or come by horse?
Bob brought me. He's a horse. My name's Nancy.
So where are you staying?
With Ed and Elizabeth Raleigh. In fact, I have something for you. Bet wanted me to give you this.
Great. I want to buy a small piece of property from them. It must be their response.
Bad news?
They rejected my offer. Well, I guess that's that. But as long as you're here, look around. All the jewelry you see, all the rugs, the beadwork, the pottery, they were all made by local artists, including yours truly. So if you want to know something, especially if you want to know how much something is, just ask.
Is that old trunk over there the one you bought from the Raleighs?
Yeah, they didn't want much for it, so I took it off their hands. Problem is, I still don't know what's in it because I can't figure out how to open it.
May I take a closer look at it?
Sure.
It was great talking to you.
Ride safely.
Cool. An old token or something. Tuning forks. Cool. Would you mind if I try to get this open?
Please do. In fact, if you get it open, I'll let you keep something from it. You can have your pick.
Uh-oh, I'd better put that back. Oh my gosh, Jane Nash is Tex's sister.
You still here?
Should I be somewhere else?
Yeah, home in your nice soft Betty Bye. You and your friends, if they ever show up. You ain't gonna last more than 3 days out here.
Well, I hope you like surprises, Tex, because you're in for one.
City folk can't take living out here. Too rugged, too much work, too dangerous.
I understand you have a sister named Jane Nash.
So what if I do?
I found a pretty nasty letter from someone named Jane Nash in the Raleigh's desk.
That don't mean it was my sister. Hey, you've been snooping, haven't you? In the Raleigh stuff, in my stuff.
I'm just very observant, that's all.
My business ain't none of your business, and that includes any sisters I may or may not have. You need to go. I'm busy.
Hello, Nancy. Something I can do for you?
I'll let you get back to work.
Ma'am?
Miss Nancy, how may I be of service?
Have you ever met Mary Yazzie?
Course, nice lady. I mean, for the most part. Gets real unfriendly when the subject of the Raleighs comes up.
Do you know anything about the piece of property she's been trying to buy from the Raleighs?
Well, I know she says she wants to buy it because she feels spiritually drawn to it, but I think she's got something up her sleeve. Oh, Nancy, it's great having you here. I mean, I like to talk, you know? I like to converse, to debate, to discuss.
Most people think I'm too nosy.
You're not nosy. Me neither. People like you and I are fascinated by the human condition, that's all. So, who else do you want to talk about?
Nobody really. Well, I'd better get going.
Pleasure talking to you.
That's not the right time. Must be broken. This doesn't look like it was ever opened.
As usual, things did not work out like I planned. Just when I get everything fixed just right for you to go looking for the thing I hid for you, I go and get myself arrested. But no matter what you hear, nothing is gonna happen to me. I will be fine and we will be together soon, I promise. Meanwhile, you can keep busy by looking for what I hid. Start by using this piece of paper to mark where all the rock pictures are. They will tell you what to do next. Your favorite flowers, and the flowers on your favorites, start keeping them in mind too. I will leave a message for you in this here cell, just in case they decide to move me to the jail down in Tumbleweed or something. I like vexing your brain, because when you are thinking real hard, like when you're playing the piano, you are more beautiful than anything in the world. I am sure to be out of here before you find my treasure, but in case I am not, know that it is all yours, and that you are more precious to me than 10,000 treasures put together. 9, 12, 15, 22, 5, 25, 15, 21. Dirk. P.S.
July 4th, 1882. Got sworn in as sheriff. It was the 4th, so it's like all them celebrations was for me, which of course they weren't. Frances thought up a song and played it on the piano for me. I forget how it went, but it was purty. I'm lucky to have her for a daughter. Hereford Shoup come by with a plant he brung from New York, which he calls Harrison's Yellow. Looked right dead to me, but Frances planted it out back and give it some water, and already it looks to be on the mend. She's 17 and can read and write good and knows her numbers. Hereford's thinking to marry her, but I said she ain't of that mind yet. March 3rd, August 2nd, 1883. September 13th, 1883. Dirk sends a secret letter to Frances, which Mason got hold of and give to me. I locked it up so she won't ever read it. Frances ain't allowed to see Dirk in jail, of course. If she never sees his letter, maybe she will think he don't like her no more, and maybe she will stop liking him. Frances's ma would have known what to do better than me. I wish she was still alive. September 17th, 1883. They hung Dirk at noon. I thought I would be glad, but I ain't. September 18th, 1883. Frances took Brownie in my big saddlebag and is gone. She ain't told no one where she's going, not even Cappy. But I know she will forget Dirk, and when she does, she will come home because she's a smart gal and will figure out that I did what I'd done for her. January 4th, 1884. My sister says her little girl Ellie got a letter that said Frances went east and was not of a mind to ever return. I hope this ain't the truth, because I miss her something awful. June 11th, 1884. The Harrison's Yellow, which Frances said was her favorite flower in the world, is just a pile of brown sticks now. I don't know how to look after delicate things like that, so it is my fault that it died. I ain't seen or heard from Frances in a year. I tell people she's on her way home, but when I look in my heart, I know this is a lie. She'll never come back to Shadow Ranch, and it is my fault. I'll just have to find a way to live with it.
I haven't done that yet. I haven't done that yet. Can't check that off. I'm finished with that. Check. I'm finished with that. I'm finished with that.
Hello?
Hey, Bess.
Nancy, our link to the world of excitement and intrigue and decent food. What's the latest?
Apparently last night, this glowing horse came galloping up out of nowhere, caused a huge commotion, then went galloping off and disappeared.
It was glowing?
Evidently, it was pretty spooky.
You're there investigating phantom horses, and what are we doing? A big fat nothing. That does it, George. We're suing the airline.
The cook, Shorty Thurmond, he says the phantom horse belonged to this outlaw named Dirk Valentine, who was hanged back in the 1880s.
Is this Valentine guy a phantom too?
I don't think so.
Well, how come his horse got to become a phantom and he didn't?
Bess, phantoms don't really exist, okay?
According to legend, seeing the horse is bad luck.
I believe it. I mean, look at what happened to the guy who owned him.
Don't you think it's kind of odd how that rattlesnake showed up in the Raleigh's bedroom right after that phantom horse showed up outside?
You don't buy that it was an unfortunate coincidence?
Dave said when the horse appeared, everyone ran outside to look.
So you're saying someone used the horse to lure everyone outside, then put the snake in their room, knowing no one would be watching?
It's possible, don't you think?
But if you're right, it means someone wants to hurt Aunt Bet and Uncle Ed. Oh my gosh! If you're right, it means that someone is on the ranch.
And whoever it is must be working with an accomplice. You know, someone to wrangle the horse.
So everyone there is a suspect.
That's right.
Well, you don't have to sound so happy about it.
Would you believe I found a letter that Dirk Valentine wrote to Frances Humber?
No way.
It was locked up in this chest that belonged to her father, and the letter was never opened. According to his journal, her father intercepted it and locked it away before Frances could read it.
So did you read it?
Of course she did. I mean, she better have.
It said that Dirk hid a bunch of his loot somewhere.
Ooh, I love it when outlaws hide loot, don't you?
What'd the letter say?
Well, evidently Dirk wanted Frances to have the loot he'd stashed, so he set up this elaborate treasure hunt for her. The letter contained all sorts of weird, obscure clues to help her find what he'd hidden.
But if the letter was never opened...
Frances couldn't have found the treasure.
Oh my gosh, it could still be out there.
And someone could be using that phantom horse to chase the Raleighs off the ranch because they want to be the ones to find it.
We're stuck here when we could be there with you looking for hidden loot? That does it, George. We're suing the airline and the airport.
I finally went for a trail ride.
You went horseback riding?
I rode to this store that this woman named Mary Yazzie owns. She seems to have a bit of an attitude problem when it comes to the Raleighs. Apparently, she wants to buy some land from the Raleighs that they don't want to sell.
What's on the property?
I don't know. I should probably call the Raleighs and ask them.
Good idea. And the sooner the better.
That's it for now.
Have fun.
Wish you were here. Kidding. Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Raleigh. It's Nancy again.
Hi, Nancy. It's Nancy.
I can hear, Bet.
How is Mr. Raleigh doing?
Let's get something straight right now. Even though we're Bess and George's aunt and uncle and not yours, I want you to call us Aunt Bet and Uncle Ed too. Got that?
All right.
Good. Now, what was the question?
How is Uncle Ed doing?
Well, he's running a slight fever, so the doctors are a little concerned.
Oh, I'm fine.
They're going to keep him here overnight, just to make sure he isn't developing some kind of infection. Oh, but enough about us. How are you doing?
I delivered that envelope to Mary Yazzie like you asked. She seemed a little upset when she read that you'd turned her down.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint her, but if we sell that property to her, it would send a signal to other would-be buyers that we're interested in selling the ranch off bit by bit, and we're not.
What does she want the property for?
I have no idea. The parcel she wants to buy is nowhere near her store, and there's nothing but rocks on it. Maybe someone else there at the ranch knows, but we sure don't.
I heard about the phantom horse. Was last night the first time it showed up?
As far as I know, it was the strangest thing. Shorty kept babbling about how it was the ghost of the horse that belonged to some outlaw.
Dirk Valentine?
But that was right after Ed got himself bit, and we were all running around trying to get him into the truck to take him to the hospital, and I really wasn't paying much attention.
Do you have any idea where the horse came from?
None whatsoever. She wants to know where that phantom horse came from.
I was hoping she could tell us.
You're the detective, dear. If you want to snoop around and see what you can find out about that creature, by all means, please do.
Why do you have a painting of Francis Humber?
I just thought it would give the den some character, that's all. I found it in the tack room under a pile of junk.
So the former owners left behind a lot of stuff?
I swear, it's like no one who lived at Shadow Ranch ever bothered to take their things with them when they left. When we moved in, the place was literally full of junk.
Was any of it valuable?
I don't think so. I mean, to me, it all looked like junk, so I got rid of it. I sold most of it to Mary Yazzie. She gets a lot of antique collectors in her store. Some things I kept, like Francis's favorite recipes.
And that ridiculous blanket chest. You insisted on keeping that.
Oh, yes, and I kept that triangular-shaped chest in the den. It used to belong to Merrill Humber. He was Francis's father. And I figured since I was keeping that picture of Francis, it was only fair that I keep something of his.
What kind of logic is that?
Oh, hush.
It doesn't look like Bess and George are going to get here today.
That's too bad. Why not?
Their plane had to land in Omaha because of mechanical problems. They don't know when they'll be taking off.
So, you'll have all those cowboys to yourself for a while. That Dave is pretty cute.
Dave's okay, but Tex is a different story.
That man scared the bejeepers out of me when he came in to interview. But he kind of grows on you, and he takes real good care of the horses.
I'll be in touch.
Call us anytime.
So it's just a coincidence that you ended up working for the Raleighs, too?
Of course not. Janie got me curious, so I checked them out and wound up iron on. They're decent people.
So all the bad stuff that's been going on around here, it's not because you're helping her get back at the Raleighs for letting her go?
Fact is, my sister can be kind of a flake. I'd have probably fired her, too.
Do you know anything about the treasure that Dirk Valentine supposedly hid for his sweetheart?
Nope.
Figures. Talk to you later.
Yahoo.
Hello, Nancy. Something I can do for you?
I found a letter that may have been written by Dirk Valentine to Francis Humber way back in the 1880s. What do you know about them?
I know there's a painting of her over in the ranch house, and that's about it. Why? What'd the letter say?
The letter made it sound like Dirk was sending Francis on some kind of treasure hunt.
Well, if the guy did hide something, it's probably long gone by now.
I'll let you get back to work.
See you later.
What is it this time?
Excuse me?
Nancy! Hi! Sorry, I thought you were somebody else.
Am I calling at a bad time?
Hey, Nancy.
Hi, Frank.
I thought you were this guy we're doing some work for.
You guys are on a case? That's great.
No, it's not. Turns out the guy is a bit neurotic.
What does he want you to do?
He wants us to track down his missing laptop. He left it in a restaurant.
Only he keeps calling us.
Yeah, like every 2 minutes.
He's become a real nuisance.
Maybe you should just quit.
Can't.
Why not?
The guy's filthy rich, and if we find that laptop, he said he'd make us filthy rich.
But the real reason we can't quit is he's the son of our mother's best friend.
Yeah, if we quit, we'd never hear the end of it. Uh-oh, we've got another call.
Let him leave a message for the 9 millionth time. So, Nancy, tell us about the ranch.
The Raleighs aren't here because Mr. Raleigh was bitten by a rattlesnake last night.
Whoa! How bad off is he?
He's still in the hospital, but they think he's going to be okay. And that's not all that happened last night.
We're listening.
Apparently, this glowing horse came running up to the ranch house, caused everybody to go rushing out to look, then went racing off into the night.
We get nut jobs who can't keep track of their computers. And what does Nancy get? Horses that glow in the dark. I mean, I know life isn't fair, but this is ridiculous.
I'd love to see what's inside this old trunk at Mary's, but I need a hint when it comes to opening it.
Just do what you did to open that blanket chest.
The trick is knowing how far and in what direction to turn each key.
I'll bet that hearts and doves and initial stuff that's carved in the trunk is the real key.
You've got a trunk that probably dates back to the Old West, and a carving that suggests romance. Sometimes the only way to book some answers is to call an expert.
Catch you later.
Stay safe.
Watch out for varmints.
Charlena Purcell's office.
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. May I please speak to Miss Purcell?
Concerning?
I'm staying at a ranch in central Arizona, and since she knows so much about the history of Arizona, I thought maybe she could answer some questions for me.
Questions concerning?
Well, I came across a very old trunk that might contain stuff that has to do with these people named Dirk Valentine and Francis Humber, only I can't open it.
Did you say Dirk Valentine?
And his girlfriend, Francis Humber, yes.
Huh. Would you hold, please?
Thank you for holding, and thank you for calling the office of Charlena Purcell. Miss Purcell's latest novel, Like Wind Through My Heart, was an instant bestseller. And like so many of her novels, it recently received the Catherine Coop Award for Historical Excellence. Reading a Charlena Purcell novel is like traveling through time to the old Southwest on the wings of love.
This is Charlena. Who is this again?
Nancy Drew?
Tell me about the trunk you found.
Well, to open it, I need to put these wrenches in these 3 holes, but I don't know in which directions they need to be pointing.
That does sound like it came from the Humber family. Is there any kind of picture on it?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's this kind of abstract design made up of hearts and doves and the initials E.H. and A.H.
E.H. would be Eldridge Humber, and A.H. would be Abigail Humber. Frances Humber's grandparents on her father's side. Her mother died when she was 10. Now, the picture no doubt commemorates their wedding day, which was 4/9/11, April 9th, 1811.
Those numbers must have something to do with the directions in which those wrenches need to be pointing.
I'm afraid I wouldn't know. In the course of my research, I've only read about the trunks Merrill and Eldridge Humber handcrafted. I've never actually opened one. However, I've been running across fascinating tidbits concerning the Humber family and stashing them away for years. When I have enough tidbits stashed away, I may well write a book about them.
Then you'd probably be very interested to know what's in this trunk.
Yes, I would. And since I've helped you, or tried to, it's only fair that you help me, don't you think?
Sure, I'll keep you posted. Did I mention that I'm staying at Shadow Ranch?
This just gets better and better. I'll tell my assistant to put your calls through immediately. By the way, why are you so interested in the Humbers?
Knowing more about them and what happened in the past may help me figure out something that's going on in the present. I'm kind of a detective.
That makes 2 of us. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
This is the Drew residence. Please leave a message at the beep.
I don't need to talk to anyone at home.